for Alabama? What's it like playing somebody every game that has a number in front of them like you guys?
Couldn't ask for anything better. We came to SEC knowing what we signed up for and playing the best competition in the country. So we're excited to get out there and compete on Saturday. Yep.
Talk about just kind of like you said, the defensive performance off the glass. You know, they're number 2 in offensive rebounding, and what that says about your defensive development over the season.
I think it's huge. I think it shows a lot of growth out of our players because I felt like we weren't probably the best when we first stepped on campus as far as just defensive rebounding and defense as a whole. But as a collective group, we've really started to figure it out, and we're still improving.
Travis was just saying that Pope preaches you guys being defensive-minded, and that opens up a lot for you guys offensively. Talk about what Pope has instilled in you guys with that.
Yeah, like you said, just making sure that we defend first before we think about offense. Offense take care of itself, but as soon as we get that rebound, we're out and we're trying to push it. We're one of the best transition offensive teams in the country, so just making sure that we get out and transition and fly around.
And how do you manage that? I know in the first half the shots weren't falling right away, and you have to rely on your defense, but what do you do? Is it something you say? Is it the way you guys come together to manage kind of that frustration offensively?
Yeah. I mean, we were just in the huddle, just letting each other know, like, it wasn't always going to be that way. We were eventually going to figure it out. Their defense gave us a tough time in the first half, just trying to figure out, like, their little matchup zone. But we knew eventually we were going to break it open, and that's exactly what we did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
You say about Old Stone?
Man, it was crazy. Sports Center top 10, number 1. Number 1 tonight, number 1.
Are you guys seeing stuff like that from him in practice on a regular basis?
I don't know if he's dunking on people like that in practice, but we know O's athletic and things he can do, the abilities he has on the basketball court, so it was no surprise.
We're a little more animated today than I normally see. What can you say about that? Was that just a competitive thing?
Yeah.
Was that a back and forth thing?
Nah. Just trying to have fun, that's it. Nothing more than that.
Okay. Well, what can you say about the way the team defended? You know, Texas A&M is known as, physical. What can you say about the physicality of it?
I mean, they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and we knew that coming into the game, and it was a key point in our scout. So we just knew we had to make sure and get hits and box out off or defensively and get rebounds, and we did a great job of that tonight.
Maybe isn't there. And with a guy like Jax, it was, I mean, like you guys probably seen it more than anyone, but we always kept faith in him, and just, knowing that he's got his confidence back and performing like this is great for him.
Did you tell him anything when shots weren't falling to kind of keep that confidence up, or can he do that on his own?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let him know to keep shooting. He knows that now too, but sometimes in the moment it's hard to kind of hear that, especially when you're missing, but he stuck at it. He never stopped taking shots. You would usually see him take, and they're falling now, so happy for him.
He had 8 rebounds tonight, that tied his career high, but he said you stole a couple from him.
That's not true.
It's not true? He says you do that every game.
I've never stole a rebound. Probably from Ortega or someone, but never from Jax. He's lying.
And he said that this game didn't mean anything extra to him, but did you notice anything different? Because it would be same, right, if you were going against Drexel. There has to be feelings for a team you used to play for.
I mean, he was joking about it earlier, but have anyone ever seen Jack get attacked?
He said he didn't do anything wrong. He said he did nothing. Did you have a different viewpoint of that? Do you know anything about that?
I feel like he was definitely amped up because we've never seen him talk or get attacked. So I feel like, for me, I feel like he had a point to prove, but...
Can you clean up what he said? Did you hear what he said?
I don't know what he said. I
any
wasn't
clue?
even on the
None.
court.
Okay.
So, but, he enjoyed tonight for sure. That's another thing. So, we love him for that.
You mentioned proving a point. Do you think you guys have proven a point with your physicality over the past 2 games, going to Mississippi State, that game, and then A&M, one of the best rebounding teams? He was mentioning the soft word got tossed around, and you guys didn't like that. Do you think you've proven that wrong?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even our mental toughness, people saying we couldn't win on the road, just because of the previous games before that. But, yeah, like you said, we didn't really like the soft word being thrown around, and I think we came in with a point to prove tonight again, and we proved that with the rebound. So,
Amari, what are your thoughts on Ortega always posted down?
I mean, for me, it's about time because I've seen him. I was on court when he tried it against Florida, when he tried it against Georgia, so now seeing it actually, execute it was great. I was happy for him. So.
Sports Center top 10?
It has to be, for sure. Yeah, it has to be.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Big win tonight.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a win like this, and you go into the next game with it's another top 20 game. You know, do you put this one behind you quickly to say, okay, you need to go until you got another big game coming up, or do you kind of enjoy this one and say, okay, this is what we did right, and move on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll watch film over the game tomorrow and see all the things they did right or the things they did wrong, and then quickly flush it. It was kind of like the Mississippi State game was only, 3 days ago, so we had a quick turnaround with that one too, and that's just something we always kind of do, just keep moving forward, show out the good and the bad, and, get ready for the next game.
Which one do you guys focus
Also, he knows and sees the same things that I'm seeing out there. So just being able to have that encouragement from
Any
him.
specific tips he's giving you?
We're working on some stuff on the defense side of the ball. He's really good. Everybody knows at taking charges, and that's something that hadn't been in my game for a while. But obviously, I got to start working on it a little bit. So that's something that he's working on, just trying to show me the reads, when to take them, when the right time to take them is. And also on the offense side of the ball, just he has no conscience out there. He's shooting no matter what. So that's something I've kind of picked up a little bit from him.
You seem to be playing more and more each game, being more involved, scoring more points. Do you feel yourself growing as a player these last couple weeks or months?
I definitely think the growth is there. I'll keep attesting it to Lamont and Kerr. Like, those guys have helped me a lot along the way. Not only just making me better going against them, but also just the confidence side of it. Like being able to talk me through things and make the game slow down for me a little bit. I think that's the biggest thing. When it starts slowing down a little bit, shots start to fall, reads start to become easier. So I think that's something that's been really huge.
Obviously, you made plenty of shots at Rupp before coming to UK, but now getting at UK, hearing that crowd, what is that feeling like for a little kid just from Kentucky?
Yeah, it's really awesome. That's something that everybody dreams of. The crowd kind of goes crazy. There was a couple pops there today, so that's something that's big for morale, but also just for the team. Like, it gets the team going, gets everybody just kind of excited, some momentum in our favor. So I feel like it was big tonight. We had a couple of them.
How physically tough is A&M to try to play against?
Very physically tough. I said it in media before the game. Like, they're 253rd in height, and they were first in offensive rebounds percentage before this game. So just that stat in itself. Like, they're so physical, they crash every time. They play hard. Obviously, they play a way that draws a lot of fouls. Like, our bigs got in some foul trouble there late. But they throw their bodies around and play hard for 40 minutes.
You personally, did they take away anything you usually do, or did you just have to fight your way through it?
Their defense was a little bit different than we're used to. They had some weird stuff going on out there. But I think our adjustments kind of made it to where we could adapt. But really just was trying to be physical. Picked up a few fouls there, being a little bit too physical maybe. But it's all part of the learning process.
Trev, you're clearly getting a lot more comfortable out there as games go on. Is that a repetition thing? Is that just being around these guys and winning the games that you are kind of thing? What's been the kind of secret sauce?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit kind of a mixture of all those things you said. The reps, obviously, from the beginning of summer till now, I've had a lot of reps against the best point guards in college basketball, against some of the best defenders in college basketball, so that goes a long way. But also just getting more comfortable in the college game. Like, the pace is starting to come to me a little bit, just the feels, the reads. Like I keep saying, the game is slowing down for me a little bit, and that's something that's big. To get more comfortable out there. And then the confidence side of it, like guys are really showing a lot of confidence in each other. Like, that's something we've had all season. And so when you're out there and know that everybody on the bench, the coaching staff, everyone has confidence in you, it goes a long way.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of hesitation for you anymore when you get those open threes. What kind of does it take to get out of that mindset? It's like, oh yeah, no, I used to do this in high school, I can do it.
Yeah, that's something that I was really working on, just being more confident, being more decisive. And like you said, just being quick to pull the trigger. That's something that I'll credit to Kerr. Kerr told me all the time, him and one of our GAs, Austin Pope, just being able to come in and make shots. Like, sometimes whether you make the shot, miss the shot, take the shot, you might be coming out of the next media. So just be ready to kind of bring a spark when you're in there and take advantage of the opportunities that are given.
Talk about your team's